Hello, good morning, students. In the earlier videos, we discussed there are two quantitative changes happened in Indian economy: rise in national income and rise in per capita income. We also discussed two qualitative changes or structural changes: sectoral composition of GDP and occupational structure. Today, we are going to discuss third point: changes in agrarian structure. We all know that India is an agrarian economy, agricultural economy, but unfortunately, our agriculture was considered as gamble of monsoon. Technique of production in agriculture was very primitive. During the planning period, there has been significant changes have been taken place in agrarian sectors. First, legislation have been enacted to remove zamindari system, malwari systems, etc. Means land reforms. After that, we have also spelled out the concept of green revolution, extensive use of HYV seeds, pesticides, fertilizers, etc. etc. With this, government has also set up many organizations or institutions to cater the credit needs of farmers and agricultural sector. NABARD plays a very important role in the development of agriculture and rural development. So during the planning period, we have made significant changes in our agrarian structure. Second, changes in the industrial structure. There has been great diversification of our industrial structure. Okay, apart from traditional industries like jute, vanaspati, tea, sugar, we have also set up basic and heavy industries like heavy engineering, heavy chemical, oil and natural gas, nitrogen fertilizers, etc. etc. Here very important points should be noted that India, it was the impression of India. India की impression क्या थी? India was known for exporter of raw material and importer of finished goods. But during the planning period, there has been significant changes or diversification has been happened with Indian industrial sector. We have not only established basic and heavy industries, but also there are some sunrise industries like telecommunications, computers, biotechnology, etc. etc. At the same time, Indian community has learned new management concept. Earlier, whole our industrial structure was managed by clerks, babus. Now it is managed by highly professional persons. And here very important points to be noted that India's rank is 9. India is the 9th industrialized nation of the world. And very important points to be noted here that the people of India is scientifically trained. We have third largest manpower in scientifically trained manpower in India. Next, significant role of the state in the economic development and growth of public sector. So far as India is concerned, the state here, the government or the country has played a very important role in the development of public sector, in the development of economic growth. किसी भी कंट्री को अगर ग्रो करना है तो उसकी बेसिक प्री रेक्विजिट क्या है कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल फैसिलिटीज डेवलप होनी चाहिए. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, कम्युनिकेशन, पावर जनरेशन, एजुकेशन, वो सारी फैसिलिटीज इंडिया में किसने डेवलप की? गवर्नमेंट. Government has taken necessary lead and initiative in the development of infrastructural facilities as well as growth of public sector. Our public sector में कौन से इंडस्ट्री है? बेसिक और हैवी इंडस्ट्री. वो ऐसे इंडस्ट्रीज है उसमें on the one hand you have to make huge investment, on the other hand there is a long gestation period. What do you mean by gestation period? The time lag between investment and return. मतलब आप आज इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं तो आपको इसका रिटर्न मिलेगा आफ्टर 15 years, आफ्टर 20 years. So risk involved in this. So when we started planning, private companies were not in position to take such a huge risk. So the responsibility has been undertaken by the government, the state, to development of basic and heavy industries. You can observe from the table that when we started planning in 1950-51, there were only 5 public sector enterprise and total investment was only 29 crore. In up to March 2015, the number of public undertaking increased from 5 to 30 to 35, and total investment is about 10 lakh 96,057 crore. However, a very important point to be noted that after 1991, we have changed our industrialized pattern. Now public sector has been given indirect role, while private sector has been given direct role in the development of industry. Next, development of economic and social overhead. We have just discussed कि किसी भी कंट्री को ग्रो करने के लिए सबसे जरूरी है उसकी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल फैसिलिटीज. So there has been substantial expansion in infrastructural facilities, economic infrastructure like transportation and communication, irrigation facilities, power generation, education, research and training, slum clearance, etc. etc. At the same time, along with socio-economic infrastructure, there has been also significant increase in our social infrastructure or social overhead. For example, literacy ratio was just 18.3% in 1951-52, which increased to up to 2011. जो लास्ट हमारा पॉपुलेशन सेंसस है उसमें 74.04%. At the same time, life expectancy increased from 32 years in 1950-51 to 68.8 years in 2017. With IMR, infant mortality ratio decreased from 146 per thousand in 1950-51 to 37 per thousand in 2017. At the same time, there has been significant decline in our death rate from 27.4 per thousand in 1951-52 to just 7 in 2017. So these changes have been happened during the planning period. So from these changes, you can say that there has been significant development of medical facilities, healthcare facilities during the planning period. Last point, brand India. Brand India is different from product India. We are not talking about made in India here. Made in India or made in make in India. It is a quite different from product India. It's a new connotation used. The main thrust or ultimate thrust is on the global India intellectual capital of the world. So here there are some data I would like to share with you, that 1/3 NASA scientists are Indians. I am repeating, 1/3 NASA scientists are Indians. There are about 5,000 Indo-American professors in US. There are about 30,000 Indian doctors practicing in US. India is among the first 3 nations to build supercomputer. India is among the first 6th nation to launch satellites. We have the largest English-speaking technical manpower in the world. Next is that India is the largest cotton yarn exporter, and we are the largest producer of two-wheelers and motorcycles. India has lowest cost producer of steel, aluminiums and CDs. We are the 4th largest pharmaceutical companies, etc. etc. So these are the about brand India. General Electrics has set up is the 2nd largest R&D, research and development institution in India with more than 1,000 PhDs. So from this we have come to know that now Indian intellectual is now globally. So that was ultimate trust on global India intellectual capital of the world. So I'm repeating. Today we discuss changes in agrarian structure, significant diversification in industrial structure. The state plays a very important role in the development, in economic development, and particularly in the development of public sector. There has been significant expansion of our economic and social overheads. And last, brand India, which is different from product India. Thank you very much for today.